Now we're going to be moving to Scrap Station, and it is going to start game number 2 of the TeamSpeak TL Open number 10. It is semifinal number 2. Who will go on to face one cruncher? Game 2 is about to begin.
Link engaged.
All right, game 2. Will TLO be able to bring something back more in his favor? Or will his time here in the TeamSpeak TL Open number 10 be done? And either way, we're going to see a TVP in the finals. But Chill, why don't you give us our positions?
All right, so on map number 2 here, we've seen TLO choose Scrap Station. We've got Phoenix spawning at the top right position as blue. Of course, dropping in his command center as Terran, and Liquid TLO down 0-1 is going to be at the 12 o'clock position as the purple Terran. And something I'm noticing TLO doing right here, if we can go to his main base, you can see he's mining the closer mineral patches only, and he's manually jamming up his SCVs and forcing them to go only to those closer positions. And I've got the income tab up, and it doesn't look like it's actually doing a whole lot for him. So, you know, it's something in theory that seems like a good idea, but it looks like it's not accomplishing a whole lot.
Maybe it's just gives him something to do.
I think in Brood War you could get a little bit of an advantage, and sometimes when the income fluctuates, he is always going, you know, from 400 to 420. So I feel like he's getting a very, very, very slight advantage by doing this. But the problem is, if you misclick once, then you've given all that advantage back.
Right. Well, we do have barracks going down for both players. What we do see from TLO is he has a barracks very close to his ramp. For Phoenix, it's a little bit closer to his command center here, and in actuality, it's not too far away in relation. But TLO, of course, having that smaller front end in comparison with Phoenix. And we do have the first scouts going out now. SCV about ready to come in, see what's popping in the base of FnaticFenix.
Gonna go in and see only a barracks. Not enough gas yet to see anything else. I guess he could see an add-on on the barracks, but does not. And Phoenix, actually, this is something he's a little bit famous for. He gets out more SCVs than the average bear before making his command center into an orbital. He actually goes up to 17, whereas we can see TLO's orbital has long been done, dropping that mule. Phoenix is only about 75% done, just about to finish up right now. So that's something a little bit strange. And bringing up the income tab, you know, it's definitely favoring TLO. So I'm really not sure about that, but that's something the Rage Quit guys were noticing beforehand, and were saying they don't know if it was a mistake or on purpose. But now I can confidently say it is on purpose.
Yeah, and you're right. It does not make that big of a difference now that both players are rocking a mule. It looks to be about the same. Not quite sure what that is, but we do have a factory here down in the lower right-hand base for Phoenix, as he could be trying to hide that away, as we have factory going up for TLO as well. And just continuing his supply, has 4 Marines out right now, while Phoenix only has a few, but several queued up right now, about 6 or 7. And I like Phoenix also spreading out these supply depots around his base. Again, you can see that he's got a little bit more space to cover than TLO here.
Yeah, we see first Hellion on the way for TLO, putting down his starport, but he didn't have a quick second refinery, only taking it now, so that means if he had plans of going Cloak Banshee, or he probably would have taken that sooner. So probably not going to be any sort of Cloak Banshee, although it could be an uncloak Banshee. Meanwhile, let's take a look at what Phoenix is up to. He's got a starport also got a Hellion on the way, and continuing to pump out reactored Marines. So he's going to have more Marines, and he may actually catch his Hellion off if TLO's not watching. Yes, he is going to fire a little bit, but the Hellion from Phoenix is going to come and chase down the TLO Hellion a little bit. SCV trying to repair the Hellion. It looks like it's going to get out and get to go home, but SCV not so lucky.
Yeah, poor SCV. It's like, okay, I'll die for my people, and then he goes forward. Yeah, actually, the Hellion almost died from that SCV attempting to repair it, blocking it just a little bit, but he managed to get away. We now got factory moving over here and the reason being is the starport has gone down with the tech lab. We do have cloak, we do have a banshee coming out as well, and an armory. So I mean, we're seeing almost exactly the same thing as we saw last time.
We got a little bit of a drop here from TLO in the top left of the base. It's only going to be Marines. He doesn't have stim, so he's going to come in and harass a little bit. SCV's being pulled, and SCVs with medevacs, or excuse me, Marines with medevacs do way better than unmedevaced Marines. Looks like a little bit of a Hellion flank here. Oh my god, where did these TLO Hellions come from? 3 running in, just going to cut up all the Marines, going to take out so many SCVs, and Phoenix is in a lot of trouble here from these TLO Hellions. This is a sick build over.
Yeah, this was actually awesome, using those Marines as a distraction just to bring the Hellions in, and right as the Banshee's about ready to hit that Hellion, we see the medevac dropped, and that one is killed, but he does, I believe, got 1 kill there. And he did quite a bit of damage there. So actually take a look at the workers now, and you can see TLO with the healthy 8 SCV lead right there. A lot of SCVs pulled off to deal with the initial Marines, but now it's going to be a counterattack as we do see the Banshee coming in. TLO, though, a little bit more prepared for something like that.
Right.
He does have the missile turret in his base, however, the armory is given away. Now, the Thor is coming out. Actually, second Thor is coming out right now. And neither player really showing any desire to expand off of their initial builds.
Here comes the Cloak Banshee again, going to slip in from the south end, going to take out a few Marines. Meanwhile, Thor Drop is heading over to the main base of Phoenix. TLO has a Marine at Phoenix's natural, so he knows there's no expansion here. Thor dropping down, there's a lot of Marines, and look at them. Look at this red line of queued up carnage that's going to come via the Thor. Meanwhile, the Banshees from Phoenix flanking the buildings of TLO, his entire main base, under assault. Thor looks like, 32, 64. He's got to load it up. TLO not watching. Looks like he's going to get flanked by SCV. Oh my god. That Thor has like 10 HP, if that, and going to get to go home. Meanwhile, TLO's main base completely under siege here. Scan going off, but the Banshee completely getting out of there. So that scan is a bit of a whiff.
Yeah, I mean, that is so interesting because, again, we have our opponent, Phoenix, who is down by, well, it's 17 Harvesters to 30 for TLO, but TLO just got triple supply blocked, had to put down several supply depots there. He is now back up to 59. Now he's got a command center going down, so he sets the tempo of this particular game, and his opponent now going to have to get out a few extra SCVs in order to make up for that. TLO also with a single low health Marine on top of that expansion, just to know exactly when it's going down. I think right now he certainly has the upper hand and did an amazing job there with the Hellion Marine drop as well as the Thor drop.
Yeah, so TLO is going to be the first one to expand. He's got his command center going down. Phoenix, no future plans of expansion here. He's just sticking with his 2 barracks, and he's actually been forced to put a bunker up. Meanwhile, Banshee going to come around to 12 o'clock. Going to try to just swing in, see what it can do. We have a Raven actually out for TLO. Phoenix's Banshee going to take out a few SCVs here. Is he going to fly into the turret? Takes 1 hit from the turret, now going to harass. Looks like TLO breaking down the middle rocks. May just want to drive into the main base of Phoenix, but actually forced to bring back his Thor to deal with this harassing Banshee, which is at 1 energy, 0 energy. But the Thor is just so fat, it can't get over there. There we go.
Yeah, he finally does some damage, but of course the Banshee's like, haha, I'll just run away now with 9 kills, actually. Again, just doing everything he can to try to even things back up. Has he? Yes, Chill. Right now, 25 to 24 on the SCV count, but I think what the big hoo-ha is going to be is the fact that, well, it'll be interesting because TLO right now building SCVs and getting his orbital command ready. But I know that the orbital command was spotted by that Banshee, so he could come back for an easy harass. Meanwhile, here comes that front push by TLO.
Moving in with 3 Thors, he's got a Raven, a medevac for some reason, I'm not sure what that's for, and he's got these 2 Hellions cutting up Marines, and Phoenix is going to deal with only infantry units. Oh my god, the Banshee's immediately taken out, Marauders running up, trying to take out the Thors, 1 getting dropped in the back, first one gets taken out, second one going to go down as well, third one getting taken out here as well, going to try to load up and fly away, and now Phoenix, is he going to be able to take that out? No, looks like the medevac survives with 40 HP, and Phoenix is starting to mine out here way down at about a third remaining on all those mineral patches, but TLO has not found the time to take his natural expansion either. He's got that orbital command, but just not safe enough to float it over to the natural expansion yet.
Yeah, he's worried about those Banshees as he should be. There's still one out there roaming. He's starting to collect some energy there on his first orbital command, or the second one, of course, to hopefully defeat the cloak of these Banshees, as we have another cloak coming up. However, that was pretty much a unit-for-unit trade in that last battle, so neither player really left with a whole lot to defend with. One Viking will get the front Banshee out, but there's another one in the back door, and this Banshee harass has just been incredibly effective in 2 games by Fnatic of Fnatic.
And actually, I would have thought that the units lost would favor Phoenix, but if you bring up the units lost tab, very similar, 3,800 versus 3,600. But meanwhile, Phoenix has made a little room for himself. He's pressured TLO back, and we're both going to have expansions. At the same time, Phoenix floating his command center over, going to probably turn that over into an orbital. And this is very timely, as if we look at Phoenix's main, it's completely mined out. Just a few crystals there left with various minerals on them. And he's actually not even turning his natural into an orbital. He's that broke, and there it finally goes.
And yeah, he's going to have to work real hard on that one. Got a couple of mules down right now. And I would say that Phoenix actually has the larger army right now. Of course, if we just look at the unit tab or the army tab, you can see that that is absolutely the case. Only about 10 supplies separating these two, but this force that's about ready to come in is pretty nasty. Good thing for TLO, though, Siege just now finishes, so even if he moves forward, he might take some initial damage that could definitely help him here in this battle. Bunkers filled up with Marines. He's filling up with a drop, but here comes 2 more Banshees in from the side. One sheet chase goes down as the rest of the forces move forward. TLO says, good game.
Wow.
And Phoenix is able to stop him, you know, quite frankly, I think with just some great Banshee harass.
Dude, wait, that was amazing. He just completely used 2 Banshees, cloaked, took out the 2 siege tanks almost immediately, as the Banshee DPS versus siege tanks just so high. Those tanks went down so quickly, and then he had the superior army just stemmed in and ran in and cleaned everything up. That was really nice, and I think going into the mid game, TLO had to be ahead, but the Banshee harassment was just incredible, and just, you know, he started to poke, kind of needle TLO to death, just poking him here, poking him there, always keeping his Banshees alive, letting them build up energy, and that was the result.